Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. It's your brother Kadar Malak. Come back at you with another cold cut. Going into Sisters Edition, Isaiah 3 and 4 breakdown, the standard. Right? So I wanted to do a series or a plethora of videos edifying sisters, right? And breaking down the precepts and breaking down more accounts going into something that they can primarily focus on. Well, if I start going into Revelations, the 18th chapter, Revelations, the 12th chapter, Daniel, the 12th chapter, Daniel, the 11th chapter, these things are not best for women to, absorb instantly. So sometimes they need more, a lot of the foundational accounts, precepts, and things that will feed their spirit primarily directly talking to the women. Okay. So, right, going into Isaiah the third and fourth chapter, right? I want to share my screen. This to the stage, right? It's lucky. So we're going to just add this to the stage, right? So first thing first, I want to pull a quick precept. So let's go to the book of Sirach 39, right? I mean, so many actually, let me get Genesis 18, right? And it's just through the spirit breakdown, through the spirit. It's Genesis 18. And let's start at Genesis 18 and start at 18. Let me start at 17. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham the thing which I do, saying that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. And they all got blessed through Yahweh Shai. That's Acts, right? In the Acts second chapter going on forward, right? That's what happened. Yahweh Shai blessed all the Israelites and all the different nations, right? That's what's the fulfillment of that. But also, Abraham became a great and mighty nation. Verse 19. For I know him that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that Yahweh may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. So the Most High knew that Abraham, he's going to command his children. He's going to teach his household. He's going to break it down. I was going to be the man of the Most High, and all you can do is teach men. You got to be able to break it down to everybody. Like break it down to the children, break it down to people who don't know. You're a representation of this truth. When people see you and they have questions, you on the spot are now the representation, right? So we know that Abraham is going to take care of his household and teach his household and break things down to his household and order his children and his household after him. That's the big thing. They're after the image of Abraham. Okay. So with that being said, right? Let's get into the book of Isaiah, third chapter. For 1,000 intro precepts. Give me the book of Isaiah, the third chapter. So let's break this down, right? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, and let's start at verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, right? The word hosts in the Hebrew is armies. So Yahweh of armies, that's what it's talking about. Even Yahweh, right? Yahweh of armies doeth taketh away from Jerusalem and from Judah. So from both, North Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, the stay and the staff, the whole state of bread and the whole state of water. So when it means to stay, that means support, right? That's literally what it means to support. So the Most High is going to take away from Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom the support and the staff. Right now, if you're taking away the support of the staff, what does that mean? Who walks with a staff? Who leans upon the staff? Elders, wise, ancient men. So if the Most High take away the support of the staff, he says he's going to kill off the old ancient men. Right? It's not going to be no more support for the ancient men. They're not going to be around. And the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, it's going to be a famine. He's going to take away the support of the bread and the support of the water, which we need. What else he's going to take away? The mighty men, the man of war. So the mighty valiant man, right? And the men of war, your armies, the judge and the prophet. It's not going to be no more correct judges, no more upright judges, no judges, period. No more prophets. And the prudent and the ancient, the captain of 50, and the honorable man, and the counselor. What is a city and a country without a counselor, honorable men, ancient men of war, any prophets to guide the men, any judges to judge the matter, any atheists who have experience with the situations, any prudent who cannot show and foresee what's going to happen, no bread, no water, and no stay of the staff. You have no society. The Most High is saying he's going to tear up the whole damn society. If there's no honorable men, then it's a goddamn Gotham out there, right? Gotham. It says, and the counselor and the cunning artificer. So the artificer is somebody who's an inventor, right? Who invents different things for technology, right? Different inventors. What's a society with no new inventions? You still over there trying to make a fire with a damn rocket. We got technology for that. So when people invent things like the lighter, or when they invent different things in technology that helps move forward a system, right? And a government and an order. But if you don't have nobody making new inventions, again, you're going to wax worse. And that's what the Lord is talking about. And the eloquent orator. There's not going to be no wise men in parables and words who know how to speak correctly. Because every single person that was an Israelite didn't have a certain lot, right? Every single Israelite wasn't a prophet. Every single Israelite wasn't a teacher. Every single Israelite wasn't a warrior, right? Every single Israelite wasn't an artificer. You have some people who were just excellent speakers. People will come out and listen to these men and these women, right? But primarily the men, right? Had these eloquent voices and break stuff down, okay? And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. Now, what is this talking about? People read this, they lose their mind. Oh, children will rule over them. So, what is this talking about? If you have a child in the place of a prince, we know children what they're immature, they're goofy, nothing is serious, they live in pleasure, their heart is bound full of foolishness, and they do whatever they please. Who gives their children to be a prince? Even when you go into that council with many of the kings, when if they wasn't old enough, they had to be trained and taught and learn how to be a king. You can't just give a child instantly the kingship and have everything going, because all this gonna be foolishness. And babe shall rule over them. So this is talking about immature, unfit leaders. They're not gonna be the princes. They're not gonna rule over you. These men are going to be seen as and moving the spirit of children and babies. They are walking after whatever they want in their pleasure. They have no discretion. They're not disciplined. They have no, like they would say in the world, no hair on their chest, man. You don't. They haven't went through enough. They don't have any of the experience, and they're not going to rule correctly. Okay. You want your princes to be aged men, been on the earth, seen things. They've been around. They've been in councils. They've been in things. That's what you want to see. And the people shall be oppressed, every one by another, and every one by his neighbor. So you're going to get oppressed by your neighbor and your brother. Who was that? Israel. Going into what? Deuteronomy 28 and 54, right? It says, the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, and the base against the honorable. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient is something what you would say is a social conduct out of order. As they always say in the world, what they say, respect your elders, right? Respect your elders. Where does that come from? The scriptures, right? That origin of that social construct come from the scriptures, right? So when it says a child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, that's a flip in society. Now you got the children saying, shut up, old man. That's in our society right now, too. Right? You got YNs with switches and guns. They're robbing the old elderly men. They're beating on them. They saying it's not the 90s Negro. It's not the 80s. And your generation is trash. We don't care what y'all did, y'all old heads. That's literally what it is. Okay? So they're going to behave themselves proudly against the ancient and the base against the honorable. You have the honorable man, right? David, he's an honorable man. Caleb, Joshua, Moses, Yahweh Shai, these are the honorable. But what a flip society would be is Antiochus Epiphanes now ruling over David, man, and telling him what to do and having it in order and having it in his structure. That's the base of the earth. Esau is the base of the earth, the so-called right Europeans, right? Native Europeans that goes back to Esau, right? You devils are the base against the honorable. So now in context, this is talking about the base of the Israelites against the honorable. Would you really want a pedophile as your king? Would you really want a child molester, a Jeffrey Dahmer, to be your president, to be above you? Hell no. That's not what you want. That's the base. A cannibalist person. You got wicked people on earth, man. You don't want them to be against the honorable and be over them. That would be off. And that's what's going to happen. The Most High is judging Israel for what? And it tells us, okay? It tells on the chapter on down. When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, Thou hast clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand. So what is this saying? Right? Hey, this is saying even at a time when everything's being taken away, being destroyed, they're looking for a leader. They don't know who could be the leader. So they're just electing anybody. They're choosing anybody to be the leader. Hey, you're my brother. You got clothing. Hey, man, be our ruler. Clothing don't mean just because you got a little something and everybody has nothing on me, you could be a ruler. You're not fit for that. So they're looking for anybody else to be the ruler, to be the judge, to be above them. In that day he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing. Make me not a ruler of the people. So this is showing even when somebody could have some of the requirements to be the leader, they're still choosing not to do it. They don't want to rule. They don't want to be over. They don't want to deal with these problems. They are not trying to be that leader. Okay. So like it. That's why it's deep in itself, right? It's deep in itself because hey, you're gonna have people that's begging to make anybody the leader, anybody to rule over them, anybody to save them, and they still won't choose to do it, even if they could, even if they had the chance to do it or wanted to do it, or have some type of way they could do it, they still choose not to. Let's keep reading. It says 8. For Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord to provoke the eyes of his glory. Hell no, he don't want to be the ruler. Why would I want to be a ruler? Judah is ruined and Judah is fallen, And why the hell would I want to be over it, man? And you know judgment is coming. Why? Because their tongue and their doings are against the Lord to provoke the eyes of his glory. They're pissing the Lord off. Right? Verse 9. The shoe of their countenance doeth witness against them. So you can see the wickedness and the corruption in somebody's face. Right? The Most High even said, right, let's pull this up. Right, the Most High even said you can know somebody by their looks to a degree. Right? Let's pull this up. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19, and verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. So a man can be known by his look. If I walk up and I see a bunch of rainbows all on you, and I see a bunch of flags, and I see the capital pride on your shirt, I mean, we know what you are. I don't have to take a damn guess and ask you questions. Hey, are you, or what do you stand for? What do you represent? It's there. You can see it in their look. You can see a whore in her eyes, man. She's looking around, how she speak, how she talk, how she acts. You can see it in somebody's looks and in their countenance, in their face, their position, their posture when you meet them. A man's attire, meaning clothing, and excessive laughter and gait, shoot what he is. So the Most High shows us that your countenance can show what you are. Okay, it can show what you are. So let's go back to Isaiah the 3rd chapter. So it says the shoe of their countenance do witness against them. They have a countenance. They have a spirit on. They have a look about them, posture and stature that, hey, it shows us that you're wicked. It shows us that this is what spirit you love. And they declared their sin as Sodom. What does that mean? That means they're bold and open with their sin with no repentance. Sodom wasn't thinking about repenting. Sodom wasn't going to stop being sodomites and damn wicked ass, fornication festivals. They wasn't going to stop doing that. It was a proud, open land of pure, massive fornication and adultery, homosexualism, bestiality, and confusion. It was holy, holy, right? Meaning WHOLLY, holy without repentance, man. So that's what it means they declare their sin as foul. It means they're proud, they're open, they're not hiding it, they're not showing it. Somebody who will repent, they'll hide it. They're not gonna openly just do it. When they don't hide, that's a high level of wickedness. That's no repentance. That's no shame happening. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Right? I mean, you're gonna get what you sow, right? You're gonna get. Let's pull that. You're gonna get what you sow. The Most High is about giving you what you get, right? You get in what you put in. If you don't, select you do any righteous works, do anything of importance in God's eyes, and you're not gonna get nothing, man. You have to do something that's important in the eyes of the Most High. All right, let me share this. It's the book of Galatians chapter 6 and verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. God is not a joke. God is not a laughing stock. Comedy. For whatsoever a man soweth, right? When you sow something, what is it talking about? When the vineyard, right? The Most High deals with husbandry, right? Working, and then boom, you get a bountiful, fruitful reward. So when you sow, that's when you're talking about sowing the seed, where you pick up seeds and you cast them into the ground, right? You cast them into your field. So whenever a man sow, whatever you cast into your field, that shall also he reap. You're going to reap whatever seeds you put in the ground. You're going to get it back. If you put a seed of pride, a seed of wickedness, a seed of offness, you're going to get the fruit and the reward of that, man. And the Most High only knows what He's going to give you, right? Let's go to the Book of Revelations. The Book of Revelations, chapter 22. It's one of my favorite precepts. Revelation chapter 22, and let's start at verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. So the Most High said He's coming back quickly through Yahweh Shai, sending Yahweh Shai to come back quickly, and His reward is with Him. That gift, Yahweh Shai is the gift. There's a gift with everybody and for everybody. But what is the gift? To give according, it's like to give every man according, Salakia, as his work shall be. So that's what it's talking about, according to your works. What did you do? Why did Nehemiah say, hey Lord, be not unrighteous to wipe not out my righteous works, man? He didn't say wipe not my faith out. Because you gotta believe. You ain't gonna have no works if you don't believe, right? So what is he talking about? It's like what is he talking about when he say wipe not my works out, right? In Nehemiah. It's the book of Nehemiah. Let's get Nehemiah 13. It's the book of Nehemiah to 13, verse 14. Remember me, oh my God, concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds that I have done for the house of my God and for the offices thereof. So, Lord, please, my good deeds, my works, please, right in the book of Jeremiah, the 17th chapter, right in the book of Jeremiah. Let's pull this. Lord, when I'm still being hurt, he tells us it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. So it's written with a pen of iron. And these things are set in stone. The only thing you can write in, you can't write with ever with the point of a diamond. Okay, you had to have something that's etched and shown and cemented. So the angels are writing down everybody's sins, what they're doing. The angels right now are here with me. I can't see it. I don't know his name. I never met him, but an angel is here right now, taking down what I'm doing. Okay, it's graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of your altars. Right, I mean that sin and that wickedness. The third chapter. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down. No matter how Satan want to do it, you want to cook up Isaiah chapter 3, and let's start back at start at start at 9. The shoe of their do witness against them, and they declared their sin of Sodom, they hide it not. Right, so they don't side it, they don't hide it. Woe unto their soul, woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. So they're going to get a recompense of the wickedness, of their wickedness. Okay, say you're going to get saved. About what's going to happen the most. Okay, so the elect, the righteous, they're going to have righteous fruit of their doings. Okay, they're going to eat the fruit of their doings, and that's what it's about. Woe to the wicked, it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. Right, so let's share this. Right, Satan was trying to stop the lie, so let's share this. Let's go back to this. Isaiah the third chapter. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 3. And I'm gonna just re-break it down to make sure. Right, so it says, "Say to the righteous that it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing." So the righteous is going to eat the fruit of what they have done, which is righteousness. So it's going to be well with them. It's no need to stress or worry or bug out. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be ill with him, or it should be a sickness, bad things with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. So you get whatever you put in. Plain and simple. Nehemiah said, please don't wipe out my good deeds. So you're going to get whatever deeds you get in or whatever you put in. And your deeds will show your faith. How do you say you believe in Yahweh, but you're literally a sodomite? You verbatim love sodomy. You have 3 boyfriends saying you love the Most High. This is no proof. It's no way you can believe in him. So your works show your faith. How do you believe in the Most High? You don't never read. You don't study. You don't care. You throw it behind your back. You can't say you truly believe in something that you don't give your time to. Right? So let's keep reading. It says, verse 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Children are their oppressors. What is it talking about? Again, young, immature leaders. They're going to be oppressing the children of Israel. They're going to be doing folly in the land, doing taxation, putting usury on the people, not giving the land a land Sabbath, paying bribery in the judges, man. Certain people being put to death, certain people not being put to death, wicked judgment going forth, false witnesses, wicked ass kings taxing the people, taking all the poor's land, taking their own fields, taking what's given to their father. All of this is going to be oppression. It's not saying a baby is going to walk around, I'm going to oppress you. No, it's talking about immature leaders not fit to be men of God and be in correct positions. They're not going to rule, right? Their angels are not going to rule anymore. We're going to make your immature leaders oppress you. That's what the Most High is saying. And women rule over them. And that's how you know they're immature. What's over a child? A woman. If a woman is over you, it's not going to be done in order because a woman is emotional. She's going to lead with her feelings first. She's loyal to her feelings first and foremost. And that's how it's going to go. Everybody knows society is out of order when a woman is ruling over the men. It don't make sense. The Most High created women to be a helpmate. Women were not made to be kings. Women were not made to be judges and leaders and priests. They were not meant to do that. They were not meant to have the lot of the sons of Kohath or Merari or Gershon, or to come through the seed line of David and rule as a king or a queen. That's not what they're supposed to do. So the societal roles are going to be flipped. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. The way of thy paths is the righteousness, the good way, the good life, right? The narrow path. Slack it. But these immature leaders who have their woman rolling over them, right, giving a strength unto their woman, hey, they're going to lead you to destruction and cause you to err and destroy the good way and the good path. The Lord standeth up to plead and standeth to judge the people. So the Most High is seeing all of this, what's going to happen, and he's going to bring forth his judgment. The Most High is going to handle the situation now. Right? It says, jump down. Yeah, verse 14. The Lord will enter into judgment with the ancients of the people and with the princes thereof, for ye have eaten up the vineyard, and the spoil of the poor is in your houses. So you robbed the poor, you put it in your house, and you've eaten up the vineyard. So the Most High is about to judge the ancients of his people and the princes. You wicked ass leaders, you wicked ass princes, you old ancient people in wickedness. Hey, you're off. The Most High is going to judge you because you've eaten up the vineyard. Now, what is the vineyard? Keep this in vineyard. What is the vineyard? Right? Book of Isaiah. Oh, Lord Jesus. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 1. Now I will sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill. Who is the person? Who is singing to my well-beloved? A song of my beloved touching his vineyard. The beloved is talking about the Most High. You read that when you read Song of Solomon, right? He's the beloved. Touching his vineyard. What would be what the Most High is touching? That's his vineyard. The children of Israel. My well-beloved have a vineyard and a very fruitful hill. What is a fruitful hill? Mount Zion. Okay, so that's plain. So the vineyard is what they're destroying, and the Most High is not with that. Right? You've eaten up the vineyard. You've eaten up Israel and oppressed them and robbed the poor and put it in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor, saith the Lord God of hosts? Why are you doing this? Why are you beating my people to pieces and grind the face of the poor? Said the Lord God of armies, man. Why would you do that to the Lord of armies? The Lord power God of armies. You oppress his poor? You beat his people to pieces, man? It's not wise. Verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. So now the Most High is talking about the women. Because the daughters of Zion, the daughters of Zion are the women of the children of Israel, are haughty, right? Now we're going to get a lot of these words. I want to go to this real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, let's share this. Haughty, arrogantly superior, and disdainful. Right, stuck up, snobbish, conceited, arrogant, vain, and proud. What haughty is going into is having a lofty look. Right, you're looking down upon everybody. And let's be honest, what people does that with nothing? Our people have nothing. Our women have nothing, but they walk forth and they're haughty. So they're extremely proud, right? And walk with stretched forth necks, right? Meaning looking above, looking over you. And wanton eyes, lustful, non-discretion, looking at whatever, seductive eyes, man. This is literally our people, verbatim, right? This is not talking about the damn Jewish woman. You wish that's not what it's talking about. It's literally talking about the daughters of Israel and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go. What does it mean, walking and mincing? Walking and mincing is a way of stepping. When women have a funny looking, I wish I can kind of pull that up. All right, let me see if I can try to pull this up. See if I can pull it up. Walking and mincing. Sure it is. All right, and I'm gonna just get this just for short. Walking and mincing as they go describes a haughty, affected gait characterized by taking short, quick, tripping steps to show off wealth or attract attention. It implies prideful vanity and a seductive, dainty manner of walking, often accompanied by the jingling of anklets or jewelry. So they was walking in a way so you can see their anklets on their jewelry, in their jewelry, you know. Right, look at this. Mincing as they go, right? Showing off the jewelry on the feet. Let's see if we can pull this up. That's madness. Pulled up some madness. The hell's madness. Anyways, yeah, walking and mincing as they go. We're having a way that they walk, right? So a way of showing off. So the whole chapter is going into the Most High removing all these things that they had, all these elegant things, these high level things, because that's why they're walking and missing. They're showing off what they have, the anklets, or you got damn toe rings and toe jewelry and stuff like that, and making a tinkling with their feet. So this is what's going on. They're boasting and showing off their wealth. Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. What is that talking about? He's gonna smite y'all with scabs and sicknesses in your head, man. Psoriasis, seborrheic dandruff, or dermatitis, whatever you want to call the correct Esau word. And he's gonna smite y'all with baldness, man. Our women, they a lot of our women, they lose their mind. I'm bald. I don't know how I can do it. What's wrong with my hair? I'm trying this new oil out. It's not working. My hair keeps breaking. Well, it's breaking. For one, you have to understand why it's happening. Our women used to have beautiful hair, long hair. But guess what? Since you want to be proud, walking forth with stretched forth necks, wanton eyes, and you're going to smoke at the scab or the crown of the head. Your crown is right here, the back of your head, man. You're going to get smoked with scabs, man. And the Lord will discover their secret parts. Now, this is deep right here, too. The Most High, you know, and Jay gotta understand on a deeper level. The Most High is making our women whores, man. Think about it. You can see women's secret parts on Twitter, on OF, on these wicked pages. You can just see the daughters of Israel secret parts. When you're naked and you're brought forth naked between somebody, it should be a shame. It's humiliation. You're just naked, no clothes. So the Most High is literally going to reveal our women and make them essentially show themselves. And that's what it is. That's what they do. That's literally what they have done. They do it to this day. They're going to show off their secret parts and push it and sell it, right? Sell that. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery. Now, the word bravery is not talking about noble right here. I wonder what you mean. What does bravery mean? Bravery is talking about the beauty. In that day, the Lord will take away the beauty of their tinkling ornaments about their feet. So these feet jewelry or ornaments you had, the Most High is going to take that away. The Most High tells you everything He's going to take. It's like it. The Most High is going to take away all of the different things and beautiful things that they have. Okay. It says their calls. Now let's look up the word calls. Got to go give Israel the visuals. You know, what is a call? I heard of that. Maybe it doesn't make sense. What is a cause? Never heard of that. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. 1 second. It says the context of Isaiah 3 and 18 calls, sometimes called coles or coles. No, the versions meaning like the Bishop Bible refers to a specific type of woman's head covering or hair ornament popular in ancient times. So the Most High, it's like it. Right. So the Most High is going to remove these headbands or head meshes that were made of gold or of silver, right? That hold it hair to sit on top of it. So a lot of these things, when you read Isaiah 3, is going into things women use to make them beautiful. Okay, things women use to make them beautiful. So the calls, it's like it. Their calls and their round tires like the moon. Now let's look that up. Gotta show Israel. Hold on. Let's share this real quick. So it says round tires in Isaiah 3:18 refers to small crescent-shaped moon-like pendants or ornaments often worn as necklaces, earrings, or on the head. As part of a list of fashionable, luxurious items worn by the daughter of Zion, these items symbolize pride, vanity, and the fleeting nature of worldly beauty that God warns will be taken away. So that's what it's talking about when it's talking about select the coals and the round tires like the moon. So again, all these vain things that make you beautiful. Now, this is showing what we're gonna have in the kingdom too. You think the Most High is not gonna bless us and bless Israel back with these things that made them beautiful? Of course, right? But it's showing that for our wickedness, they got judged and these things got removed and taken away. Okay, so tires, they had things that make them beautiful like that. Tires, cause their chains, right? The chains, the bracelets, and the mufflers. A muffler is also going to another type of head covering. And I'm gonna keep it saying that because of every single piece, you're gonna have to go into another word like mufflers. Look it up and look it up. But it's special head pieces that women would use, right? That women would use. Give me 1 second. That women would use to show off their beauty, right? Right. So even if it's a simple Google search, in Isaiah 3:19, mufflers refers to a type of woman's veil or light ornamental face covering that was part of a luxurious outfit, often characterized by trembling motion. These items are listed among various luxuries that God declares will be taken away as punishment for the pride of the women of Zion. Like again, a number one demon I want to deal with is pride. You know what I'm saying? Thinking they're higher, wanting to be above, the man just having that spirit of controlling. And I'm gonna tell you what to do. That's the spirit that the Most High don't like. Remember, the Most High told women. Let's get this in Genesis, the second chapter. Let's get this in Genesis, the second chapter, real quick. Touching on, I do not like this. It freeze up every time I use that same gateway. But we read Genesis the second chapter, right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2. Scroll down and let's start at 20. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found an helpmeet for him. So everybody had a helper, right? Every beast has a helper. Every cattle and fowl of the air has a helper. But for Adam, there was not found a helpmeet. We didn't have a counterpart, right? So the Most High gave him Eve, okay? And her whole duty is what? To help Adam. Now, when we read Genesis, the third chapter, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 3. After goes into sin and to go off, what happens? This is Genesis 3, This whole thing fired, man. Let's start at we can break it down. Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. So this voice of the Lord God is not saying the voice of the Most High like a damn songwriting imagery. The voice of the Lord is talking about the prophets, right? The mighty men of the Most High. These men were walking, looking for Adam. So it means walking in the garden in the cool of the day. After so the cool of the day is when it's starting to calm down, when things die down. But the heat of the day is talking about 12 to 3 p.m., right? When it's the hottest on the earth at that time, when the sun is the hottest, when the earth is the hottest. But the cool of the day, when things started to die down, and the voice of the Lord, the prophets, they was looking for Adam. Prophets been around since the beginning. That's even in the book of Luke, right? It said from the blood of Abel to Zacharias, right? Showing Abel was a prophet. So those prophets always been around. Seers always been around. And Adam, his wife, hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. So what is this talking about? They hid themselves from the presence of the Lord. They hid from the prophets and the men of the Most High amongst the trees of the garden. Trees, right here in this context, is talking about the other Adamites, the other men and women, the other Adamites that were not chosen like Adam and Eve, etc. They decided to hide amongst them to get away from the voice of the Lord calling them. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Where you at? Why are you not where I put you? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. So, hey, Adam was caught naked. He was caught lacking. Right? He was caught lacking. Plain upon saying, he was caught lacking. He was afraid. He was scared. But caught lacking in what? If you're caught lacking, I mean, you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing. So what was he caught lacking where? Where was he caught incomplete where? In sin. Okay. So he was caught lacking in sin, right? In the sin that he did, and he hid himself. The Most High don't tell us to do that. The Most High tells in Isaiah, the first chapter, right, to seek judgment. All right, let's get that real quick. I'm pulling all these out, man. It's crazy. All right, let's get that Isaiah, the first chapter. All right, just in case we need the blue letter. Isaiah chapter 1. And let's start at verse like maybe 15. Isaiah 1 and 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. So you have to seek judgment. You need to seek judgment. Adam didn't do that. Okay. So let's go back to Genesis 3. So it says, and he hid himself, right? And he said, who told thee thou was naked? Who told you was lacking? Who told you was incomplete? Who told you you fell off? Who told you you did something wrong? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? Have you started to eat and follow the doctrines from the Adamites, from the other people that I told you not to follow? That's what it's saying. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. So Adam didn't have any accountability. He just blamed on his woman, which is true, but that's not correct accountability. He should have said, I went off. I did it. I was going off. And then the Lord probably would have asked him, well, why did you do it? And then you could have explained it. But the first thing he said is, hey, this woman you made me, she made me do it. I ate. Verse 13. And the Lord said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. So she lacked accountability. She blamed it on the Adamite, the serpent. Now let's jump down. Or let's jump down to Salakia. 16. So talking about the woman. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. Another punishment for the sin. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. In sorrow. It's going to be sorrow to bring forth a baby. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. Now, what is that talking about? Bro, when you go into another translation, it's saying you're going to desire your husband, but you're going to desire to control him. You're going to want to control him, but he's going to still rule over you. That's what it's talking about. Right? So that's the bad spirit of wanting to control the man and the husband. Okay. So let's go back to Isaiah the 3rd chapter. It says the bonnets, right? The bonnets talking about the headpieces and the ornaments of the legs, right? And the headbands, another fashionable headpiece, and the tablets, right? Now, a tablet is talking about like a little chest, like a necklace with a chest on it. And essentially, you will put charms or jewels in that chest and wear it around your neck as, again, a sign of beauty, just different things women like getting. But you're not going to have that no more. And the earrings and the rings and the nose jewels and the changeable suits of apparel. Women love clothes. This day, I'm wearing this today, I'm wearing this tomorrow, and I got my new Gucci bag and I got my new this. They love new clothing. And the earrings and the rings, the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, right? I was just talking about a cloak, surf on a cloak, and the wimples and the crisping pins. Now, again, I said, I don't want to look up every single thing, but I'm gonna look it up, just to get a sense. Look it up. What is a wimple? The wimples, the wimples. Easy, right? Wimples are mentioned in Isaiah 3:22 as part of a list of a luxurious female attire, including festival robes, mantles, and purses that God warns will be taken away as judgment against the prideful daughters of Zion. So again, this whole chapter is primarily dealing with the wicked ass leaders and the prideful women. This is a big thing that happened to our women. This is why the Most High tells us and shows us accounts of Esther putting dung, literal feces in her head when she fasts, putting accounts of Judith, right, when she lost her husband and she had to come up with a plan to kill this damn king or this leader, Holofernes, man. Why it pulls accounts on our women doing humble, good, helpmate, in order, submissive under the man things. You are dealing with a lot of pride. That's the issue. That's why all this got to get taken away. You're boastful. And again, this is even touching on, right? Give me that. Let's get that in Sirach, the 11th chapter. The Most High said that you're not supposed to boast of your clothing and your raiment. This is literally what they was doing. Boasting in the clothing and the raiment. It's the book of Isaiah. It's like it's Sirach, chapter 11. Let me share this tab. Sirach 11 and 4. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment. Don't boast of your clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden. They was boasting, showing that they was walking and mincing, they had stretched forth necks. They were in the spirit of boasting their clothing and their raiment, man, which is off. Right. So I lost some audio. Let me see. But will I still being heard? I think I'm being heard. So nevertheless, right? It says so the mantles, the wimples, right? The special robes and the crisping pins. Let's look at the crisping pins. What is that? I don't know what that means. Can you break it down? All right. Crispy pins refers to archaic term for small bags, purses, pouches, likely ornate, used by wealthy women in ancient Judah. And what do E love? Birkin bags, Coach purse, this, and that. They love this thing. Okay? So this is what the Most High is going to remove for your pride. It says the glasses. The glasses is talking about the mirror, right? Literally a mirror, like looking in your face in the mirror. The fine linen and the hoods and the veils. This is all the things that a woman love to wear and have. Now, another judgment. And it shall come to pass that in the stead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Now, we're mature. It's for, women, men, and children. What is this talking about? Right, it's talking about judgment on women's pH balance, judgments on women's damn smell, their spirit as well, but their smell. They're going to be a stinky woman, showing how our women used to be clean and they didn't have smells. But hey, guess what? Now your women are going to stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent, or a girdle is a certain type of waist thing you will wear, right, to hold yourself up. But that's going to be rent. And instead of well set hair, baldness. So instead of you having a bunch of hair, your girdles, and you smelling good, you're gonna stink, have it be rent, and you're not gonna have hair. And instead of a stomacher, when you go into that, right? Let's go into that stomacher. This is another thing that men cannot wear. That's what we're talking about during 2025. You can't wear a damn stomacher. Oh, okay, this has been sharing this the whole time. I'll slide you. But yeah, the Europeans they started taking this, but this is a stomacher, right? Let a brother come around me with a damn stomacher, right? It's like a V. You can't wear this as a man. This is effeminate female clothing. Okay, so that's what it's talking about, right? You're not gonna have your stomachers, your things. Instead of that, you're gonna have a sackcloth, right? Sackcloth is itchy clothing that you wear when you're fasting, and burning instead of beauty, itching, burning, diseases, HSV, HPV, all these different diseases. You're gonna get this burning, man, instead of beauty. So this is a judgment. I mean, this is literally a judgment. STDs, your balance being off, you're being bald, you're not gonna have your clothing no more. No more of these clothings and these different things that you love to show off and boast in. You're not gonna have no damn bags and all that's all that's going. Mirrors and bracelets and all that's out of there. Thy men shall fall by the sword. So the Israelite men, they're gonna die. All your husbands, your men, they're gonna be put to flight. You're not gonna have any men. And thy mighty in the war. That's why it's spiritual going into the last days. That's what the Most High even said. It's going to be Slakia. It's madness. Madness. But anyway, that's why the Most High is going to kill off a lot of the men, like the Lord says in Second Esdras, the 16th chapter. I'm gonna get that in a second. And her gates shall lament and mourn. Right now, gates is where the king's at, where judgments and things will go forth, where the king will sit and examine matters and speak to the people. All if your gates are lamenting and mourning, I mean, all the people are going to cry and mourn at where they gather. And she, being desolate, shall sit upon the ground. What does that mean? The Most High is going to waste and destroy Israel. Okay, because Israel is likened to a woman. Okay, now I want to get this touching on this mighty man shall fall. All right, let's get Second Esdras, the 16th chapter. So a lot of men are going to die. A lot of men are going to die. Why? Well, men live by a different set of rules, and men will even kill themselves and let themselves starve for their family. They are protectors at the end of the day. So they will give up their lives for their family. That's why it's going to be so much death. Right? So this is Second Esdras chapter 16. Let's start at 33. Well, let me see if it's 29. It's like it. Start at 20. Start at man, so thanks first. Start at 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, right? Lack of food and water. And the other that shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So if you don't die by a famine, somebody gonna shoot you and kill you and murder you. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, as poop. And there shall be no man to comfort them. Nobody's gonna bury them, put them back in the earth. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Nobody, it's not gonna be no fruit being grown. And the farmers gonna get put to death. Somebody gonna take their land. And whoever take that, they're gonna get put to death. It's gonna be an endless murder. The trees shall give fruit. Who shall gather them? Right? Women are not about to gather them. It's talking about men. Men are supposed to gather the fruit in these things. The grapes shall ripe, and who shall tread them? For all the places shall be desolate of men. So it's going to be no men on earth. It's going to be very, very many minor men. A lot of them are going to die in war. A lot of them are going to die of sickness. A lot of them are going to die of famine to protect their family. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. One man is going to just hope to see another man. When last time, I mean, certain things, if you just have no men going around, you can't really vent to your woman. You can't really break certain things down to your woman. The Most High even tells you that. The Most High tells us, right? So you can't tell your woman everything. Right? Your woman can't hear everything. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go down real quick. Verse 33. The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, Women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So a lot of them are going to die of famine, and they're going to be destroyed, right? They're going to be destroyed. The husbands that were supposed to get married to and the bridegrooms, they're going to die. Okay. Right now, I'm not gonna pull that one of Micah, but it is in the book of Micah. You know, the Lord tells you to keep that mouth from hurt that life in thy bosom. I mean, he can't tell you women everything, right? But the Most High is going to cut down a lot of Jake. A lot of Jake. Oh, hey, the Most High might maybe survive. Well, 90% of you Jakes ain't gonna make it. A lot of brothers gonna be martyrs. Or you gonna fall out or bug out, or you gonna sell somebody out and be a damn coon. That's more than likely one of your three lots, or you get put to death for the Most High. Or if you survive the wilderness, you catching hell. You might not eat every 4 days, man. You're starving. You're looking around. You don't got nobody. You're sleeping in the wilderness. You have nowhere as your home. You have no bed. You're sleeping on rocks and roots and damn bugs. So it's going to be a very tough time to come. So that's Isaiah the third chapter. Now, picking right up, Isaiah the fourth chapter, right? Isaiah the third chapter and the fourth chapter are still in the same context. The Most High put the spirit on the translators to put the chapters in 4 and 3 and 5, etc. But remember, this was a big scroll, and Isaiah and the Lord dictates what's the context and what is something that's talking about. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, what day is this? The day when all the kings and all the men are going off, they're getting judged. The leaders of Israel, the ancients are getting judged. The Most High is judging the daughters of Israel, making them stay, getting them punishments, and all the men are dying. Now, this happened, but all prophecies, remember, when you go into the prophecies, it keep happening. It don't just stop. The words of the Lord get double fold, sometimes triple fold. So this is going to happen in Jacob's trouble. That all those things being taken away from our women, some of Israel got some of those things, but it's going to be taken away again and again. And this is what's going to happen. So in that day of hell, turmoil, a post-apocalyptic scenario in Jacob's trouble, this is what's going to happen as well. Going into Isaiah the third chapter. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. 7 is perfection. Okay, and 7 is just a number. It does not mean just literally 7. It could be 3, it could be 6, it could be 12. But a perfect set amount is going to be given to one man. In that day, why? Because it's not going to be men. The Most High even told us that men is likened unto fine gold, man. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 13. Start of verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Every man loves gold. Every woman loves gold. Everybody loves gold. If you're making a man more precious than gold, why? If something is increasing in value, it's because it is not easily accessible. That's why. So men are not going to be easily accessible. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, so the Most High is going to make men more worthy and more valuable than gold. Let's get this in Lamentations, the second chapter. The Most High called the sons of Israel gold. I want to get that real quick. Lamentations, the second chapter, if I'm not mistaken. It's like maybe the third chapter. Lamentations 4. Lamentations 4 and 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the works of the hands of the potter? So Israelite men are valuable as gold. It's like Israelite women are valuable as rubies. Okay, so we go back to Isaiah the fourth chapter. The reason why you're gonna have these 7 women coming up to these men, especially and specifically talking about the men of the Most High, right? You're not going around looking for Elamite and Jacob's trouble. It's not what it's talking about. It's talking about multitudes of women of all nations. You might have a damn Ammonite trying to beg you to deal with you and be your concubine. You might have a damn whatever. You're gonna have all these women begging for the men of the Lord. Why? Because it's no men, and the men of the Lord is even the elect of the elect. They're on a higher level than just the men, period. Okay? Saying we will eat our own bread. Now, why are they saying we're going to eat our own bread? Because when eating your own bread and wearing your own apparel, like it says in verse 1, this is what you would do to provide for a woman. The Most High didn't say he must get you you must get your woman a Birkin bag. That's not what it's talking about. The Most High didn't say you must get her the finer things or you're going off. If you don't get her whatever she wants, you're wicked. No, the Most High knows women just want anything and want whatever they see. So what is it talking about? This is Exodus 21:10. If he take him another wife, talking about a Hebrew servant, right? If he take him another wife, get another a wife, her food, her raiment, her clothing, and her duty of marriage, meaning sex, shall he not diminish. So these are the core things women need from her man: food, clothing, and him laying down due benevolence. Now, when you read in Sirach, it tells you bread, water, a shelter, clothing are cheap things for life. So these are the things you have to provide: shelter, water, clothing, raiment, and duty of marriage. You cannot leave her and not deal with her just because you get another wife. So that's what it's talking about. So when you go back to Isaiah, the 4th chapter, right? Why is it? Why are they saying that? Because they're saying, "Hey, we'll provide for ourselves. We know you want to provide this for us. Hey, we'll bring that to the table. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Called by thy name is being married. You're not called by somebody's name until you lay down with a man and you're his woman. That's you called by the name. They say, hey, we just want to be married. I just want to deal with you and be under your name and your covering. Do that so you can take away our reproach. That's what that's talking about. Simple, plain, easy cut. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. Now, who is the branch? Right, let's get this in Zechariah. Right. Zechariah 3:8. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. Who is the branch? Yahweh Shai. Let's get one more on that. Let's go to the mighty book Isaiah again. Isaiah 11:11. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. Who is that rod that's coming out of Jesse? Jesse had a son, and he went down back to David. And who's going to grow out of stem of Jesse and David's roots? Yahweh Shai. Who is it talking about? Yahweh Shai. Okay. So that branch is talking about Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai is going to be glorious in that day. So when the Most High returns to come back with his fathership, with his UFO, he's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful and glorious to see that. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped to Israel. So the Most High is going to put the spare back on earth to have it fruitful and beautiful and things excellent so we can eat. If we are what? Them that escaped of Israel. We escaped the judgment and we are the elect and we're going to get those things. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. So this is talking about the remnant. Isaiah 1:9 on down. The remnant of Israel are going to be called the holy and the elect. You're going to get something for that. Now it's going translation talking about more about the kingdom. Even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. Right, when we get being back down from the chariots, from the salvation back in the land of Israel. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion. Our women are filthy. Right, playing the plant tables, they're filthy. They are filthy with immoralness and cleanness and just offness. And shall purge the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof. Purge meaning cleanse and purify the blood of Jerusalem. All the murder, all the violence, when that's purged and washed away, when we get these new bodies, when we pass through the bond of the covenant, when these things are washed away. Now I'm gonna get a precept on this, right? Because I mean, what is that talking? That's talking about the great mourning. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 12. And let's start at verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. So the Most High is going to save Judah first. Who came out teaching this truth first and proclaimed it and with dominance? Judah. They pulled it out, or the house of Judah, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. They was pushing this truth. And they are the ones that's getting saved first. They are the ones that's going to get the understanding first and get the truth first. And that's why. Why? Because the Most High wants Judah on a high level. He wants them to be known as the top tribe, which they are, rightfully so. In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. So when this is talking about, right, the war on Gog and Magog and us taking over the different lands and putting them in subjection, all the heathen, right, after the second wilderness. If you're feeble in that day, you're going to be as David. So the 1/3 is going to be as strong as David. And the house of David, representing the elect, the 144 and above, they shall be as God, a power, as the angel of the Lord before them, as Yahweh Shai, right? That's the angel of the Lord. So the elect, the 144, are going to have a higher level of power than the 1/3. Okay. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And the Most High is going to destroy all the nations that come against us in second wilderness, right? Slack me going so fast. And I will power upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem. I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. Who got pierced? Yahweh Shai. And they shall mourn for him. Who is the him? Yahweh Shai. As one mourner for his only son. Who is the only son? Yahweh Shai. And shall be in bitterness for him. Why are they mourning for this person? Because it's Yahweh Shai. As one that is bitterness for his firstborn. Who is the firstborn? Yahweh Shai. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning had arisen in the valley of Medagon. And the land shall mourn every family apart. Now, it's going to be a second mourning. So we're going to mourn and wail for all the sins that we have, all the things that we have done. And the Most High is going to wipe us all clean, give us a new slate, right? Let's go to Zechariah 13. Zechariah 13. In that day, there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. So the Most High is going to cleanse us with that fountain, that water, like the bronze laver in the tabernacle and the temple. So we're going to get cleansed of all our sins and uncleanness. I want to get that in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, and then we're going to close out. Select it. Revelations 3. Revelation 3 and 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God. So if you overcome the problems, the tribulation, and the hell, the Most High is going to make you a pillar, a foundation, a high level support system in the temple of the Most High. You help build the temple of the Most High. And he shall go no more out. You're not going to be destroyed no more. And I will write upon him the name of my God. Right? That reputation and that image is going to be now upon that Israelite man, woman, or child. And the name of the city of my God, right? The reputation and the image and the spirit of that place, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name. So the Most High is going to give us a new name, right? A new spirit and a new image. Now I want to grab another precept on this. Let's get Revelations, the 2nd chapter. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 17. It says, and he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So him that overcometh, overcome the persecution, will I give to eat of the hidden manna. The hidden manna is the deepest, darkest, not darkest, but you know what I mean? It's a far away realm in a holy of holies, right? A deep, deep understanding, true understanding, pure understanding that has not been given to men. It's hidden. You can't find it. That's a certain high level of wisdom. We don't know, right? We don't know how it's going to be set up, how we're going to get it, but it is a deep, high level of understanding of wisdom and power. And I will give him a white stone. So this white stone is talking about giving you a clean slate. Okay. A white stone is pure. It's not touched. It's not gray. It's not black. It's no marks upon it. And in the stone, a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth. So you're going to get a new reputation and image and a clean slate if you overcome. Okay. So let's go back to Isaiah, the 4th chapter. Let's look at Isaiah to the 4th. And let's go back to 5. So the Most High is going to wash us and purify all the daughters of Israel because of their filth and all the violence and murder. Why? By the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. What is that happening by? The lake of fire and then being judged in the first death and in the second death. First death is by persecution, so like by perils, famine, right? Pestilence, right? The sword. These are the things on the first death. And then the second death is the lake of fire. Okay. So that's the judgment and the spirit of burning is the second, right? Talking about the second death. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion. So everywhere we're going to dwell, and that's talking about the kingdom. Everywhere we're going to dwell and live, and upon her assemblies a cloud. A cloud is a chariot, a so-called UFO, unidentified flying object, right? An astral phenomenon, these different things, and a smoke by day, right? Which they led us in children of Israel in the first wilderness, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory shall be a defense. So we don't have to worry about the nations. We don't have to worry about the heathen. We don't have to worry about anything in the kingdom because we want to have an angel in a chariot literally hovering over us where we live at. It's going to be like a light show. Wish I can search this up. Man, these pictures suck. But you know, like this, we can't really, something like that. I mean, it's just a little better. But more something like this. It sucks. But UFOs over houses of the elect. Okay, so it's going to be complete protection. We're not going to need any different things. We're not going to need any of these different guards and stuff like that. We have a literal angel above us. Okay, so let's go to verse 5. It's like in verse 6. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a pledge of refuge, and for a cover from the storm and from the rain. So we know, right? If it's hot outside and it's a time of heat, what cools you down? A shadow, right? Literally being under a shadow or something, a tree or whatever. So we're finally going to get that rest from the heat, and it plays a refuge, I mean, a place of safety and for a cover from the storm and rain. So we're going to get that covering, that true rest, that true relaxation. Why? Because we know that heat is talking about affliction. Right? This is Job chapter 30, and let's start at verse 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. So the skin upon Job was black. Why? And his bones are burned with heat because of the sun. The sun is that affliction. So if you was to just sit in the sun all day, yeah, so-called black people can take it. Yeah, we're melanated. But if you just sit in the sun, you just sitting in it, you're gonna get burnt and dark and black, man. It's gonna hurt. You can't just sit in the sun every day, all day. Right? Even our people gotta at least get in the cool of the shade for a while. Okay. So that cool of the shade, that real rest is the kingdom. Right. So with that, I'm gonna close out with what should I close out with, man? What should I close out with? Right? I want to get this. It's like I'm gonna get this real quick. So at the end of the day, Israel was directly to the woman, but it was for everybody. Remember this precept, remember this sister Anna. And there was one Anna, a prophetess. A prophetess don't mean, she had to go out at camp and scream at people. A prophetess right here is a woman that knows in the prophecies. She knew the prophecy. She knew what was going to happen. She knew the breakdown. The daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Asher, northern kingdom. She was of great age and have lived with a husband 7 years from her virginity. And when she was a widow of about 84 years, for 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served God with fastings and prayers night and day. And she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord for redemption in Jerusalem. She spoke about Yahushua. And when they had performed all the things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee, to their own city, Nazareth. So be like Anna. She knew the scriptures, she knew the prophecies. She was in the temple day and night. She fasted. She prayed. Be in that spirit and image as the daughters of Israel and work on ourselves, 6 and verse 16. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate, and he that sowed discord among brethren. So the Most High tells us that he hates a proud look. The Most High hated everything the daughters of Israel was doing in the book of Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, right? And that's why he humbles them and puts them in a time of where there's no more men, and now they have to just essentially submit to these men that they haven't seen and they don't know. I want to get another precept. Right, it's the book of Genesis, chapter 5. Let's start at 3. And Adam lived 130 years. Salakia. And Adam lived 130 years and begat a son in his own likeness after his image and called his name Seth. Right? So he begot a son called named Seth. Let's go down to, I'm gonna start at jump down at 10. I'm sorry, not. And Enos lived 90 years and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after he begot Canaan 815 years and begat sons and daughters. So a lot of these mighty men, they were having children, right? They brought forth fruit, they brought forth different things. But why did the Most High have Seth and Enos be on the scene, right? It even say that after Seth was born, I'm starting this Genesis 4 and 26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. So just for sisters and men, period, that make sure when you raising forth these children and these daughters that they have the image and the spirit of the Most High upon them. Right? A woman can raise up her son and her daughter in the image and spirit of the Most High and make all Israel call on the name of the Lord, man. So that was a righteous, good, and holy thing, showing that Seth and Enos had a good upbringing and it was taught correctly, and it was led by a nice, good, loving, correct woman of the Most High and their father. But with that, I want to give a hearty shalom to the 12 tribes, shalom to the elect. Lord, this video was edifying. Kwame Yashal.